Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your man, Philip Davis, here to break down some seriously wild stuff happening in the business world. Ever wondered who owns your favorite American brands? Spoiler alert, it might not be who you think. We're diving deep into the surprising world of US companies owned by China. And trust me, this isn't just some dry economics lesson. This stuff affects everything from the bacon you eat to the movies you watch. Yeah, it's that deep. So buckle up as we break down the benefits, the controversies, and of course sprinkle in some laughs along the way, because, let's be real, sometimes you gotta laugh to keep from crying, am I right? Alright folks, let's talk pork. And no, I don't mean the kind that happens in Congress. We're talking about Smithfield Foods, the big kahuna of pig farming in America. These guys? They're supplying your bacon, your sausage, your ham. Basically, if it oinks, they've got a hand in it. Now here's the kicker. Smithfield Foods, the OG of American pork, isn't so American anymore. In 2013, they got scooped up by WH Group, a Chinese company. Yep, you heard that right. The largest pork producer in the US is now owned by, well, a company based in a country that's not exactly known for its love of bacon. Now some folks might say, Philip, it's just pork, chill out. But hold your horses, because this is about way more than just breakfast. We're talking about food security, people. When a foreign company owns a huge chunk of your food supply, that gives them some serious leverage. Imagine if they decided to, raise prices or even worse, cut off supply. And we're not just talking about your breakfast plate here. This affects jobs too. Smithfield employs thousands of people in the US. What happens to those jobs when decisions are being made on the other side of the world? Plus, there's the whole trade war thing. Remember that whole debacle? China slapping tariffs on American pork? Well, guess what? It gets a whole lot more complicated when a Chinese-owned company is caught in the crossfire. It's like a game of corporate chess, and we're all just pawns. But hey, at least we can laugh about it, right? I mean, can you imagine bacon crossing international borders now? Does it come with a side of soy sauce? Is there a Mandarin phrase for crispy? These are the important questions, people. Alright, movie buffs, let's talk about the silver screen. Specifically, let's talk about AMC Theatres, the biggest movie theater chain on the planet. The place where we go to stuff our faces with popcorn, endure awkward first dates, and pretend we understand what's happening in Christopher Nolan films. But here's the plot twist. AMC Theatres, the supposed bastion of American entertainment, is now owned by a Chinese company called the Wanda Group. That's right. The next time you're settling into that sticky seat, remember that you're essentially contributing to the GDP of China. Now, you might be thinking, Philip, who cares who owns the movie theaters as long as they keep the popcorn coming? And to that, I say, my friend, you're not thinking big enough. This isn't just about overpriced snacks and sticky floors. This is about cultural influence. Think about it. Movies are powerful. They shape our perspectives, our beliefs, our understanding of the world. So when a Chinese company owns the biggest movie theater chain in the world, they're not just selling tickets, they're selling influence. Does this mean we'll all be watching Chinese propaganda films while munching on dumplings instead of popcorn? Probably not. But it does mean that Chinese companies now have a say in what we watch and how we experience entertainment. And let's not forget about the money. Hollywood blockbusters rake in billions of dollars worldwide. With AMC Theatres under Chinese ownership, a bigger chunk of that cash is flowing directly to China. But hey, maybe there's a bright side. Maybe this means cheaper tickets, right? Or at least an end to those ridiculous popcorn prices? Because let's be real, those things are a global conspiracy. And who knows, maybe we'll all become fluent in Mandarin from watching subtitled films? Just imagine, this movie is better in its original language will finally make sense. Okay folks, let's talk appliances. You know, those trusty machines that keep our clothes clean, our food cold, and our lives generally running smoothly. And when it comes to appliances, no name is more American than General Electric, or GE for short. But hold on to your spatulas, because GE Appliances, the bedrock of American kitchens everywhere, is now owned by, you guessed it, a Chinese company. That's right, the company that once epitomized American innovation is now part of Haier, a Chinese multinational. Now I know what you're thinking. Philip, are you telling me that my fridge is now a communist sleeper cell? And to that I say, look, I'm not saying it, but I'm not saying it. Okay, I'm messing with you. But seriously, the implications of this one are huge. GE Appliances isn't just some small-time operation. They're a major player in the appliance game with factories all over the United States. So, what happens when those factories are now under Chinese ownership? Do manufacturing jobs stay in America, or do they slowly start to disappear like socks in the dryer? And what about our data? Let's be real, folks. Appliances are getting smarter by the day. Your fridge can order groceries, your oven can preheat on command, and your washing machine can probably write a better screenplay than Michael Bay. So the question is, who has access to all that data? Is your smart fridge secretly transmitting your grocery list to Beijing? Is your oven reporting your late-night pizza binges to the Chinese government? Again, I'm mostly kidding. Mostly. But it does raise some valid concerns about data privacy and security in the age of increasingly connected devices. But hey, maybe there's a silver lining. Maybe this means our appliances will finally be affordable, right? Or at least come with a free year of Chinese language lessons. Just imagine, your laundry is ready in perfect Mandarin. Now that's what I call innovation. Calling all film fanatics. Let's talk about Legendary Entertainment, the studio behind some of the biggest blockbusters in recent years. We're talking Jurassic World, Godzilla, The Dark Knight trilogy, movies that have raked in billions of dollars and left audiences worldwide simultaneously entertained and terrified. But here's the plot twist. Legendary Entertainment, the studio that brought you those epic monster battles, is now owned by a Chinese conglomerate called Wanda Group. Yes, you heard that right. The fate of Godzilla, King Kong, and all those other cinematic titans now rests in the hands of a company based in Beijing. Now, some might say, Philip, it's just movies. Relax. But hold on a second, my friends. This isn't just about popcorn flicks and summer blockbusters. This is about the power of storytelling, the influence of Hollywood, and the global battle for cultural dominance. Movies are more than just entertainment. They're cultural exports, vehicles for ideas, and reflections of our hopes, fears, and dreams. When a Chinese company owns a major Hollywood studio, it changes the game. Think about it. Will we start seeing more Chinese actors and locations in Hollywood films? Will Chinese cultural values and perspectives start to influence the stories we see on screen? Will Godzilla develop a sudden craving for Peking duck? Okay, maybe not that last one, but you get the point. This is about more than just who's cashing the checks. It's about who gets to shape the narratives that entertain and influence billions of people around the world. But hey, maybe this means we'll finally get that long-awaited Godzilla versus the Great Wall movie. Imagine Godzilla, the king of the monsters, facing off against one of the most iconic symbols of Chinese history. Now that's a cinematic clash of civilizations I can get behind. Alright, jet-setters and luxury lovers, let's talk about strategic hotels and resorts. These guys own some of the most iconic hotels in the world, the kind of places where you check in and instantly feel fancier, even if you're wearing sweatpants and flip-flops. We're talking about the Waldorf Astoria, the JW Marriott Essex House, the Hotel del Coronado, places that scream luxury, history, and I definitely can't afford the minibar. But here's the twist. Strategic Hotels and Resorts, with its portfolio of American landmarks, is now owned by Anbang Insurance Group, a Chinese company. That's right. The keys to some of the most prestigious addresses in the United States are now in the hands of a company based in Beijing. Now you might be thinking, Philip, who cares who owns some fancy hotels as long as the towels are fluffy? And to that I say, my friend, you're underestimating the power of symbolism. These aren't just hotels, they're landmarks, symbols of American history and culture. The Waldorf Astoria has hosted presidents, royalty, and countless celebrities. The Hotel del Coronado has been featured in classic films. These places are more than just buildings, they're woven into the fabric of American identity. So, when a Chinese company buys them up, it's not just a business transaction, it's a statement. It's a sign that China is here, they're investing in American assets, and they're not afraid to play in the big leagues. But hey, maybe there's a bright side. Maybe this means better room service, right? Or at least an end to those exorbitant minibar prices? And who knows, maybe we'll all get free Mandarin lessons with our complimentary bathrobes. Just imagine, ordering room service in flawless Mandarin. Now that's what I call a 5-star experience. So next time you grab a snack, watch a movie, or check into a fancy hotel, remember the world is a lot more connected and complicated than it seems. The lines between American and Chinese companies are blurring, and that's neither inherently good nor bad. It's just reality. Ancestry Lands is all about promoting generational wealth through land ownership and financial awareness to empower you and your family. If you want to take control of your financial future, make sure to subscribe and follow for more. Because who knows, maybe your next toaster will come with a passport.